It's full time at the Etihad, and we suffer defeat in the Manchester derby. It's City 3, United 1. Yet Manchester's still red because we are massive. Um, Look, today was an interesting one. I don't know what to blame this result on. There's a mixture of things. I don't think the substitutes were the strongest, but what else could we do? I don't think the tactics were the strongest, but what else could we do? I respect Eric for trying something new, but I'm conflicted on where this club is going. I'm not Ten Hag in, but I'm also not Ten Hag out. I'm really conflicted. I'm in a grey area where I haven't been for quite a while. I think with all the managers that we've had, I was when we had Jose, when we got rid of Jose, I was staunchly Jose out. When we got rid of Oli, I was staunchly Oli out. But for some reason, when there is a staunch Ten Hag out movement at the moment, I'm not staunch towards it, yet I'm not staunch the other way. I've said the word staunch quite a bit in the last minute, but you know what I mean. It's a really interesting situation because today is definitely a game that Ineos and Dave Brailsford would have been watching and putting into their process of, do we need to get a new manager next season? And I'm still unsure of what the answer to that question is. So we need to reevaluate, reassess where we're going. Our next few weeks are tough. We've got Everton next weekend. The weekend after that, we've got Liverpool. Then I think we've got Brentford. Then I think we've got Liverpool again. We've got a really tough run coming up, and we need to start showing something. And obviously, sitting in against City away at the Etihad was probably always going to be what was going to happen, but I still don't think it excuses some of the play we had today. I thought it was really uninspiring. I don't think... I thought it was uninspiring, yet I thought quite a few of our players had good performances. And I think it's just a personnel issue. It sucks to lose a derby, especially, after scoring such a good goal so early. But, the famous old saying that sometimes you can score too early. And I think that is what we did. And we gave City what was the shot count? Something like 27-3. It was ridiculous. City were always going to win. Or at least score, and I thought we just let them do it in too easy fashion, especially that third goal, which was so preventable. Let's take a look at the player ratings. Onana gets a 7 for me, and I was just listening to the Premier League broadcast with Paul Scholes and Michael Owen, and they are blaming Onana for the second goal, which I am mind-boggled about, because it is clearly our midfield. It's clearly at fault. The two players at fault are that, Casemiro and Cambuala, right? They're the two players at fault for that. I have no idea how you even get Onana into that conversation. Also, another stat. David De Gea, in his time at Manchester United, over 10 seasons, claimed 60 crosses. Today, Andre Onana claimed 7 crosses. So that's basically De Gea averaging 10 claims per season. Onana's just claimed 7 balls in a game. Onana is the step forward. We are going in the right direction, and I think for about 7 straight matches now, Andre Onana is showing us what he's truly capable of. Brilliant shot stopper, brilliant with his feet, and I thought he showed glimpses of that today. And I thought, once again, a really well-rounded performance from Andre Onana. Dallo, for me, gets a 6. I thought he ran really hard up and down. Wasn't really Dallo's game today, but I thought he ran hard up and back, never stopped working, didn't really make any big mistakes, and he had to get switched to left back late on to get Lindelof the hell out of that position, because that was an absolute disaster. And I thought he did well once again, but our most consistent player. Varane's a 7, as is Johnny Evans, both of them with just top tier performances, particularly in that first half. I think Varane actually carried that performance into the second half as well. He wasn't at fault for any of the goals, and I thought Johnny in the first half was monstrous with him. The Rolls Royce, the man who puts his body on the line. Obviously it's not ideal that is our centre-back pairing going into a Manchester derby. You'd obviously much rather Litcher, but I thought Johnny Evans a magnificent deputy once again. Lindelof's got to be a 4. It was a disaster, but you can't blame Victor himself because he's not a left back. He's a slow right-footed centre-back, and that is what he is. And he can do a very good job playing right centre-back in a low block. He was in a low block, but he's not a left-back. And when he was trying to make overlapping runs with Rashford, I found myself laughing because, Victor, you're gaining nothing from those overlapping runs. It was tough for him. The player rating is more at how he played in the position, not the player himself, because, I mean, what else could he do? I thought Amrabat should have played there today. I'll make that clear. I thought Amrabat should have played there today, especially considering how good he was at left back against Fulham. Casemiro for me has probably got to end up being a 5, and I'll tell you why. I thought he had a really good general game, but that second goal, where not only will Cambuala get sucked out of position, Cambuala's 18, 19. Casemiro, who's early mid-30s, won 5 Champions Leagues, gets sucked in for a 1-2. A 1-2. Like, out of all the players get sucked out of that position for that, Casemiro, like, so immature to do that. A lack of discipline to be sucked out there. And I thought he was one of the main contributors on conceding that second goal, so wasn't happy at all with him there. Cobby, 6, steady game. Scott, 6, steady game. I'm not sure where the 4.2 is coming from. Cobby and Scott had identical games. What Scott was playing... In fact, I'll get up right now the system that I believe United were playing. We were sort of playing Casemiro sitting a bit deeper. Cobby was sort of helping him, and Scott had the license to go forward. Yeah, I thought Scott stayed in that formation a little bit as well. And Bruno was that more advanced player, playing as the false 9, and that is sort of how the game played out for United. And I thought Cobby, Scott, and Bruno did well in whatever the midfield layout was. I thought Bruno was probably a 6.5. I don't even know anymore. That's Bruno's best game in a while. As I said a few episodes ago, the website I do these player ratings on have agendas towards players, the channel that runs it. I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm not a fan of it. Bruno 6, McTominay 6, Cobby 6. 6 across the board. I don't think any of them had any fault of the goals. I don't think they were at fault with it. They didn't put a foot wrong. What else do you want me to say? I'm going to give Garnacho a fair 6. Because what the fucking else was he supposed to do? I reckon he touched the ball twice in, 70 minutes of football. It was ridiculous. I didn't actually see him. Not sure what he's supposed to do when you're not bringing your wingers into the game. He couldn't really bring anyone into the game. Rashford, 6.5. He scored a banger, but he should have had a hat-trick. He missed 2 really big chances after that. Cambuala's going to have to be a 4 because he came on to do a job, and the job that he did was terrible because he cost us a goal. Him and Casemiro stepped out, allowed the 1-2, so much space. Varane can't cover the whole gap. Varane did as well as he could, but in the end, it was Cambuala and Casemiro to blame. Apologies for the sneeze. God have mercy. Bless me. Anthony, 6. Didn't see him, barely, at least. 4s and 6. Sofian Amrabat's going to get a 2 because he had one job, and the job that he did was coming on, conceding the ball in the box, and letting Haaland score. So, congrats, Sofian. The reason it's not 2-1 and 3-1 instead is because of your Moroccan ass. You are heading back to Fiorentina at the end of the season, and I've got no doubt about it. And Amari, whatever. What could he do? Ten Hag, personnel issues. I thought the subs were weird, but I saw logic in them. I thought he set out his team as well as he could, except I thought Amrabat definitely should have played at left back ahead of Lindelof. And what else do you expect him to do at the Etihad with this personnel? I'm giving him a 5, because what else is he supposed to do? Again, I'm not Ten Hag in, I'm not Ten Hag out, but what else was he supposed to do today? And I think Ineos have already made their decision. I'm not sure whether they're going to keep him or not, but I think the decision's already been made. Player of the match for me is Raphael Varane. I thought he was superb today, Rafa. Absolutely superb. Probably closely followed by Johnny Evans. And yeah, Rafa is the man of the match with 41% of the vote. Let's take a look at the Player of the Year votes. 5 votes goes to Rafael Varane. 4 votes, the Northern Irishman Johnny Evans. 3 votes, Andre Onana. 2 for Marcus Rashford. And 1 for Diogo Dalot. The leaderboard sees Dalot reclaiming that 18 vote lead. Onana is sitting second. He's on 47. He's put together a string of 6 or 7 really, really good games lately, which has bolstered him up the leaderboards. Third is Harry Maguire with 44. Fourth is Rasmus Højlund with 41. And fifth, Alejandro Garnacho with 39. It's a derby defeat. It's not a derby disaster. Ten Hag, the players, the club, where do we go from here? I'll see you next Saturday night for the early kickoff against Everton at Old Trafford. Thank you for watching, and remember, Manchester is always and will always be red. See you next time.